I gotta get this figured out. It's one of those things. Welcome to the Tim Runs His Mouth podcast. I'm Tim Young. It's powered by American Greatness and, of course, our friends over at cigarsdirect.com. I want to talk about a couple of things today. We are taping this on tax day, so I just want to let you know that your tax money will be going to programs like helping mutilate kids, promote groomers through library readings, start World War III, maybe in Israel and with Iran, maybe send some more money to Iran, maybe send money to Ukraine, maybe send money to Zelensky so he can have some more Coke parties. We don't know what all or where all your money might go, but it's going there. And, it could be something just as traditional as sending Hunter Biden on a business trip. You never know. You just never know where your money's going to go. So pay your taxes. Pay your taxes. In case you're wondering, though, we are ready for World War III. Here is, I have to show you this clip from Libs of TikTok. I believe it's this one. This freak is ready for World War III. And if you ever feel unsafe in America, now is the time. Maybe buy guns and ammo, because this is what wants to protect you or something, or doesn't take life very seriously. Mental illness is alive and well in our country. Here we go.
Get ready with me to sign up for the military. I'm signing up for the military because I know my cat-like instincts would be very helpful in combat.
He's probably signing up for the military because he wants his own genital mutilation paid for by your taxpayer does. Pay your taxes, everyone. Pay your taxes so that you can pay for this person's sex change.
And because I think Bacchus looks super cute in a military uniform. I'll be frolicking around in a pink uniform, though. If they're not okay with
front lines,
me wearing pink, they're going to have to deal with my kitty wrath.
This is what mental illness looks like, by the way. Absolutely what mental illness looks like. But hey, when you have members of the military who post photos of themselves in puppy play costumes, I believe that's what that's called, that leather garbage thing. I remember that general that showed that picture. I can pull it up later if you want. I really don't want to see it again. And all of these other ones walking around, these ugly dudes with that let their hair grow long, that put on skirts and then claim to be women. This is par for the course. This is just total par for the course here. Here you go.
I'll be honest. I've been super lonely here in my kitten burrow.
Yeah. Not even gays want anything to do with you. This is beyond.
So I know a change of military scenery will do wonders to my kitty brain.
Queers for Palestine will take you. I have a feeling they'll take you. You guys, we should start a GoFundMe for Queers for Palestine. Let them go over there. Let them join Hamas. Let them go hang out and hold signs up. Queers for Palestine for Hamas. I'm sure that'll go well. I'm
going to be super nervous trying to sneak in my catnip because I heard it's banned in the military. What the heck? I don't care.
Hey, listen, the only reason I'm forcing you to watch this is because I had to. This is what mental illness looks like, by the way.
Care that it's banned, though. I need my catnip to be the best in combat because I'm here to serve in meow for this country. Anyways, you guys.
Nothing. I have gay friends. None of them want anything to do with that. None of them want anything to do with this. This is some bizarre. I don't know if it's a cry for attention. This person probably can't pay their rent. Either that or they're either living with their parents or they're working at your local coffee shop.
You guys wish me good kitten luck on my journey to the military. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to serve for us.
What? I can serve in so many different positions. Look. Ooh.
I can't watch it. The noise stuff there is just like, I want that to be sent to Palestine, though. I want that to be sent to Palestine. Front lines. You want to make the joke, even if it's a joke, if it's real, I don't care. Front lines. Queers for Palestine. Send them over. I'm very excited, by the way. I don't have a sponsorship with Yeti yet, but like, I got my extra. I've had this tumbler for a while, and I always lose these. The greatest scientific, forget vaccines or anything else that's happened. Greatest scientific creation in modern history. Keeps my crap from spilling on myself. All right. So when we're not dealing with that mental illness, we have to deal with the mental illness in the White House. This is, oh, brother. There was a UConn player. Apparently, he's pretty good. About to get drafted, and he was doing an interview, I believe, over the weekend. This is Donovan Klingman. Donovan Klingen. Oh boy, get it right, Tim. Describing UConn players' experience. They won the national championship when they got to meet old Joe at the White House. Here we go.
Last year, after we won the national championship, went to the White House, took a picture with Joe Biden, team picture. Joe Biden talked to us for about 3 minutes. Okay. And then right after that, he asked us for a picture again.
What did he say in that 3 minutes? Yeah.
Completely ignored Coach Shirley. Really couldn't understand what he was saying. And then he said, all right, let's grab a picture.
Do you think he knows basketball?
Not much.
Okay, so this is again, Donovan Klingen, UConn player who is going to get drafted to the NBA. Really good guy, talking about his experience with Joe Biden, being very honest about it. I wonder how many other players have seen this and just are told not to say anything or don't do anything. Because again, leader of the free world, speaks to them for 3 minutes, has no idea, mumbles whatever for 3 minutes, and forgets that he took a picture and asked for another picture. You want another picture? I think this is the experience of everyone. I've heard of people who have been at the White House and talked with him and have been told that he can't remember what he said 30 seconds later. And this is years ago. So I wonder what it's like now. Here we go. One more time. I want to show you this again.
Last year, after we won the national championship, went to the White House, took a picture with Joe Biden, team picture. Joe Biden talked to us for about 3 minutes. Okay. And then right after that, he asked us for a picture again.
What did he say in that 3 minutes? Yeah.
Completely ignored Coach Shirley. Really couldn't understand what he was saying. And then he said, all right, let's grab a picture.
Do you think he knows basketball?
Not much.
So that is, again, from TikTok from Caleb Nash Freepster, whatever his name is. But that doesn't shock me, and probably doesn't shock any of you. Again, Donovan Klingen, I can't say his name right. I'm not a basketball person. Talking about his experience at the White House. Interesting. Does that shock anyone, though? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. All right, so I can't wait to get to this next story, but we need to talk about World War III. Obviously, Iran attacking Israel over the weekend, and Joe Biden's big statement about it was, maybe don't do it. Maybe don't do it. All right. Very, very, very forceful. I don't think that we'd be anywhere near this again if we had Donald Trump in office. Trump was there signing peace treaties between Israel and the Abraham Accords between Israel and Arab nations, because Arab nations at one point were afraid of what would happen if they attacked Israel. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not when you have the administration that has the follow-up to Obama sending pallets of cash over. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think happens in this situation? All right, so before we get to what I really want to get to today, we have to talk about this 86 Republicans and 126 Democrats saying that it's okay for the federal government to warrantless search you and your person and your house. Again, here's the 86 nay Republicans. And again, these are all people who probably have won their re-election, are in comfortable districts where they've already won their primary, and there's no threat whatsoever. Just trying to see if there's any regular names on there that we've seen before. Of course, Dan Crenshaw, one of them. And this is, by the way, Congressman Warren Davidson, who I like, putting this list out. And he says, to restore government small enough to fit within the Constitution, we need members of Congress committed to the Constitution. These are the 86 Republicans and 126 Democrats who want the government to spy on Americans. The Fourth Amendment says get a warrant. They say no. And par for the course, of course, here, you've got Dan Crenshaw on there. I'm just taking a look at this list here. Anybody else? I mean, a lot of people we've never even heard of. Mike Garcia, Tony Gonzalez. I mean, again, Claudia Tenney's on there. Scott Austin, Steve Scalise. Again, these are people who, many of them, I've never even heard of the last names. And again, or haven't heard from in a long, long time because they do nothing else. They pop up, they vote a certain way, and I wonder who influenced them to vote that way or why they voted that way. We should all be asking this. We should all wonder why someone would want to have warrantless searches, why they've ignored the Constitution and want warrantless searches on Americans. Again, written by Andy Biggs. And it doesn't, literally a tie vote, 212 to 212. And this should remind you as well that what was one of the things that the House GOP accomplished over the past 2 years while they've been in charge? They got rid of George Santos, who would have voted for requiring warrants. Wouldn't have voted against this. That would have been your tie-breaking vote. Speaker Johnson voted for this, not against it. So there you go. What have Republicans done? They've given up your rights. They've turned their back on the Constitution, and they're allowing us to slowly roll towards World War III. Nothing big to see here. Nothing. Everyone, just move along. Nothing to see here. There's the list again of the 86 Republicans voting no on this. Diaz-Ballart's another one that's always been votes left. I mean, just again, a pile of rhinos. This is an easy one to vote for, but they voted against it. Shameful. It's shameful. All right, hey, listen. Other things that are shameful, apparently, and this is going to be a 2-minute video that I can't wait to get through, and should bother if Alex Spencer, the fiance, was here, would bother her to make sure that I don't say anything too awful when I watch this video. Apparently, according to some new, probably uneducated piece of crap on TikTok, good morning is now racist. Did you know that? Did you know that saying good morning is now racist? Apparently, all of you white people, listen up. We're going to get educated by this girl with braces who probably, again, either makes coffee for a living or lives with her parents about why good morning is racist. 2.5 minutes of why good morning is racist with made up facts. We've been saying good morning forever. Apparently, it's now racist. So here we go. I hope your morning is miserable when you watch this, or the rest of your day is miserable when you watch this, because good morning means you're a racist. Here we go.
My guy. So let's talk about.
Wow, you can tell. By the way, you can tell very serious conversations start with "my guy." Ooh.
My guy. So let's talk about where the word good morning originated from.
She has weed voice, by the way. That's weed voice. It's not about race. That's weed voice. Everyone gets it if you smoke so much. It screws up your vocal cords.
My guy. So let's talk about where the word good morning originated from.
Okay, it's the word good morning. It's we've already started off with great intellect.
Good
with
morning.
With deep intellect. The word good morning. It's a phrase. It would be a sentence as well. But it's a word good morning. So we are already starting off between my guy and that we're starting off brilliant.
Originated from. Good morning.
I'm glad that she cut it there. It sounded like she had to go get her kid.
About where the word good morning originated from. Good morning. All right, so during slavery times, when the women used to mourn about their child being taken away and sold to a different slave master, or if one of the family members did.
This voice is stop smoking. Stop smoking.
Did something that resulted into them getting whipped or killed. Most of these things used to happen in the evening time when a child was sold off or somebody was getting whipped for something. The black women used to cry all night behind it. Not even just the women, the black people in general, all the black slaves, male or female.
They used to cry all night.
When something happened to a family member or a close friend or anything, they used to cry all night behind it. And when the slaves used to cry about what happened all night long, the white slave masters, the oppressors, will wake up in the morning time and they'll.
By the way, does she have to? Is she unable to say anything beyond 3 or 4 words at a clip and then have to start again? It's really getting annoying. Like she can't literally every 3 or 4 words has to start like and reclip. I'd love to see the sourcing on this, by the way.
The oppressors.
The oppressors, yes.
Will wake up in the morning time and they'll tell the slaves, did you have a good morning? Basically, did you have a good cry out? Did you do enough crying last night because of what happened to their family member a day prior?
That is absolutely not true. It's like there's no evidence of any of that ever happening, by the way. I mean, slavery bad. Yeah, we have to say that. Have to clarify, slavery was bad. Yes. You have to say that because idiots will be like, wait, you're saying slavery is good. No, but no. But this good morning thing is just like, come on.
So the white oppressors came up with.
We're not even halfway through this video, by the way. I apologize. This is painful.
The white oppressors came up with good morning as a mockery towards black people.
Did you know that? I figured that good morning was being said for hundreds of years, not just to mock black people. And then what did they go into town and high five everybody when they went to like buy their bread and eggs and stuff or whatever? Well, I guess they had farms. So they only mocked black people by saying good morning. Where do you think people hear this stuff from? This is sort of like the Borat stuff where Borat talks about Jewish people and comes up with all sorts of crazy things. By the way, that's all the stuff. If you've ever seen the Borat movies, all the stuff Borat says is basically stuff that was said about Jewish people in the Eastern Bloc. It's like, they have horns and they lay eggs and yada, yada, yada. I wonder where she heard this from. What DEI professor just winged it because they read it in a book sometime, like some fiction book.
During the slavery times.
Hey, how come this wasn't covered in like Tom Sawyer or something? Wouldn't this have been covered in any kind of major literary work? Because it sounds so horrible.
When they used to cry and mourn and grieve over what?
She literally has to stop after every sentence and start another. This is such weird editing.
What happened to somebody when they was whipped or killed or taken off to another?
What is taken off?
The plantation. So it was their way to make.
She's a princess, by the way. It says it right there. She's a princess.
It was their way to make fun of the black slaves crying that night prior. So they would ask them, did you have a good morning? Did you have a good cry? And they would laugh about it.
Why didn't they say good crying? They're literally, again, you can just make anything up. You can make anything racist. That's what started Libs of TikTok, by the way. One of the most viral moments that I ever saw from them originally was that they went through and they said, hey, name anything, and we can find somebody saying that it's racist. And like, so you'd say like pencils, and then they'd go find literally someone saying that pencils are oppressive. We're not even, what are we through? We still have another minute of this. Oh my God.
So that was their way of being funny towards the black slaves when they would cry all night about somebody that was hung, somebody that was killed. That was their way to make fun of them. Y'all know what mourning mean? Where
do you think she's a scholar at? Where do you think she got her doctorate from?
All they did was take the U off of it, so nobody would.
Now look, I'm going to give her a lot of credit. She said the word good morning to start, but she does understand that there's 2 different spellings of morning. So 10 points to deep voice here.
But think about what it really originated from. It was really a mockery towards black slaves and them making fun of what they did.
Getting repetitive.
To their people. When someone was hung, killed, or sold off to.
Again, very repetitive here. We got the point from your fictitious making up of why good morning is racist.
To a different plantation. So that was their way of being funny. Did you?
Oh, there you go. Look, she found the definition of morning on the internet, and then ran it from there. Again, we're gonna wait. I'm still waiting on the sourcing on this. We're gonna get there. There's gonna be sourcing, I'm sure.
You have a good morning? Did you have a good cry about that person's death?
Jeez, it's like so repetitive and stupid. This is why. Again, I'm surprised. Does she have an MSNBC show yet?
Did you have a good cry about your daughter being taken away from you and sold off somewhere
Tooken.
else? Did you have a good cry of your brother being hung yesterday? That was their way of being funny. Good morning, everyone.
Oh, Outcast Nolly. I don't give her credit. Who knew? Raise a symbol of white oppression. Thanks, N Wokeness, for bringing that to our attention. I had no idea. Here we are. So I hope that that person has a miserable day and miserable rest of their life, because you're not allowed to say good morning, because apparently that's racist. So if everything is racist, your life is probably pretty miserable anyway. So don't say good morning anymore, everyone, because apparently that was done. Good morning came up from not like in the morn or early morn, things like that, like getting up in the morning. The reference to the definition of the beginning of the day when the sun rises. No, it was only good morning only came from slaves crying because people were tooken. And so listen to Princess. People was tooken. And so therefore good morning is racist. Who knew? Who knew? I certainly am not one who knew. But good morning is because people was tooken. Also, don't smoke so much weed that your voice changes, by the way. If you smoke weed all the time, I don't smoke anything. I've actually stopped drinking, too. It's a crazy concept. But if you smoke all the time, your voice gets that deep thing. Don't do that. Don't do drugs. And don't say good morning, because that means somebody was tooken. You heard it here first from the princess. All right, well, have a miserable rest of your day. I hope that you filed your taxes. I hope everything is going wrong for you in the world, because we can't say good morning anymore, and everything is racist. How am I supposed to go from here? I don't know. You're listening to the Tim Runs His Mouth podcast here on American Greatness, as well as Rumble Live occasionally, as well as Twitter, all the places you can go see that podcast live. It's me, Tim Runs His Mouth. I have banners for this, don't I? There we go. Look at that. Could have had that running the entire time. Tim Runs His Mouth. Go visit our friends at Scars Direct. Also, of course, the American Greatness, which this is powered by. So, guys, with that being said, again, not a good morning. Have a terrible day. Miserable afternoon. Because I'm sure also the word miserable, well, we're not going to be able to say anything. All words are racist. Because I'm sure miserable also means something to someone that's racist. And afternoon probably, they probably did something with slaves in the afternoon or after 12. So that's probably racist too. So there's no words that aren't racist. So even my name, don't call me Tim Runs His Mouth. I'm sure that has something to do with racism too. My mere existence as a white guy. Terrible. Awful things. Awful things, everyone. Everything is awful. Have a miserable day. Don't say good morning anymore. Unless you're Joe Biden, who forgets where he is. All right, it's been a good one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Tim Runs His Mouth podcast.